Hey guys, Fantastic Yellow here. Today we're doing a collab with Lego for Life, so let's get into it.
Hey guys, Lego for Life here with another video, and today is a special video. Today I'm collabing with Fantastic Yellow, and we're going to be talking about Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2, the whole season, Part 1 and Part 2, and what we liked and didn't like about the season. But I hope you guys sit back and enjoy. This is going to be an interesting video. Honestly, I can't wait to see what happens. Part 1. I would say that if I had to rate it out of 10, I'll give it maybe like an 8.5 out of 10. It was good. It wasn't that bad. But like I feel like the first two episodes were like really good. They started off strong. Seeing Cinder and everything for the first time was really cool. I really loved that. But then I believe starting in episode 3 it was until 7 or 8, it kind of went downhill for me in action. Like I understand that you can't keep the action on for a lot, but like since the ninja went to train, then the action was on Cole, Zane, and Bonzo's journey. And for them bringing in Dorama out of all the villains they could have brought in, I feel like it wasn't that exciting at all. And the story just felt rushed. But other than that, I feel like, you know, part one was good. Especially the ending, that was really good. I really loved that.
Yeah, I do agree with you on the parts where Cinder coming in was good. It was really good to see the Elemental Master of Smoke, the new one, face off against Kai, because we had seen back in season 4, they clashed Kai and the original Master of Smoke. So it was good to see the new Master Smoke versus the new Master Fire, which I do agree was really cool. And then another part that I agree with is Cinder coming back. Or not Cinder, I just said Cinder. Drama, sorry. Drama, definitely, I was not a fan of him coming back. But I understand why they did it. He was like the meme villain, the side character villain that would come back from time to time, like we've seen in earlier Ninjago seasons. So that's most likely why they did it. But then again, he's kind of. I know Dragons Rising is doing their own thing and they need their new side character villain, but I personally am just not a big fan of Dorama. And again, with the end of the part one, which it was really something, man. Especially since we just started exploring Kai, and he finally started to become good again. And then we lost him to the Nether space. That was probably heartbreaking for a lot of Kai fans. Um, and it's kind of sad that we did not see him in part two, but I'm glad he is back.
No, yeah, what you said, I do agree with you. I do feel like Kai, like many people said he was overrated and stuff like that, especially like when you watch the first few seasons of Ninjago, you can kind of feel that because like he's everywhere, he's the main character for a long time. But then I feel like this was kind of his redemption, if you could say, because then
Mm-hmm.
after those 7 seasons, the first 7 seasons of Ninjago, he was mostly pushed to the side, and he did have his moments, in season 11 and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like I agree. Like he was really Dragons Rising. Kai has shown in so many ways as a master now with Wildfire, everything. He's just been amazing.
Yeah, Kai definitely has been explored a lot more in Dragons Rising, like you'd said. I don't know about anyone else, but I am for sure loving the mentorship of Kai seeing his younger self in Wildfire, like you said, and teaching her to not make the same mistakes he had. Like a lot of people, like you said Kai was overrated in the first couple of seasons, and I don't see that. I just see Kai as everyone's big fanboy in the pilots, and then the second the actual show comes around, Kai is just he's a nobody. He gets pushed aside for Lloyd and everyone else. So it's nice that in Dragons Rising, we're actually seeing his character explored more. We've seen some flashbacks of him with his sister as well.
Yeah, I do like those flashbacks. But yeah, but overall, part one was really good. It set up part two really well. And yeah, like, let me think here. I think that's all I've got for part one. If there's anything else that you noticed that you like to say, that's okay.
Not really. I do like the fact that we are seeing Lord Roz as the main villain this season. I do feel like he is probably one of my favorite villains out there, especially since he is so new. I think he definitely ranks higher than a lot of other villains. Like he's up there with Moro and Garmadon, I feel like, and Pythor.
No, definitely. I love this guy. I feel like how it's so cool that he's not human. You know, he's like, he's from Chima, he's an animal. And I just love how his mind works in a way, if you get what I'm saying, like how he's able to
Yeah.
manipulate people and stuff like that. He just does such a good job. And then also in part one, seeing him get angry at Jordana and literally run and catch up with Aaron, like that scene was really well done. And yeah,
Mm,
it was really good. Lord Ross is definitely, in my opinion, a top five villain.
yeah, I agree with you there. Um, all right. Part two, I guess.
Yeah,
We
part
can run
two.
into that.
Wow. Do you want to start this one off or me, or like how do you want to do it?
I'll start, I guess. Let's
Yeah.
see. Well, the main thing that I think of when I think of part one and two, um, I had definitely heard a lot of other Ninjago fans' thoughts on this, and everyone does seem to kind of separate the parts of part one and two, comparing them to be their own different seasons. So when we move on to part two and consider it its own little season, I think of it more as just a copy of what they did in the past of tournament of elements. And I did a poll on my YouTube channel a couple weeks back asking which season was better, and a good chunk of people, like 25%, actually said the tournament of sources was better than the tournament of elements. And I don't see that. As much as part two was really good and I enjoyed it for what it was, I just felt like it was a copy of the original, just so they could give fans that nostalgia feeling. And I hope they don't keep that up because this is supposed to be its own thing. I don't want everything to be repetitive. Like all these new elemental powers just seem like rip-offs of the original. Like Quake is Earth and plants is nature, and we have a shockwave is like sound, and we have a whole bunch of rip off elements basically, and they just are running out of ideas.
Yeah.
But I know I'm hating on it a lot, but like it was enjoyable to watch for what it was, and I guess they did definitely get that nostalgia feeling. But I'll let you move on to your thoughts.
No, yeah, like I agree with you 100%. I felt like, you know, it part 2 was good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. I don't want to be that kind of person who hates on it a lot. It's just that I feel like for a show that you say has been in work for like a long time, they could have come up with something better. Just like you said with the Elemental Power, it's basically a ripoff of the original. There's nothing new and exciting. And some of the powers, such as surface tension, which is bubbles, did not make any sense whatsoever. It was basically useless. But yeah, I do feel like Tournament of Elements was better than this tournament, the Tournament of Sources. But so, it was okay. I honestly, the ending, what I really loved about this whole tournament was the mystery that they had about it, around it, with, trying to find out who killed the dragons, trying to find out all that stuff. Aaron meeting his friend Frack, and, him training and using Lord Ra's technique to be able to do Spinjitzu. And, just that whole thing they had around it was just really good.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. The whole surface tension thing is pretty silly in my opinion, and I feel like we should just ignore that and go on with our day because the Raiders obviously want to do their thing. We'll leave them at that. We have some silly elements out there. Um, but with Aaron, as you were saying, I do feel like he this was actually a really good way to teach him Spinjitzu as he was trying to learn Spinjitzu so much through the ninja and Master Wu's teaching, and then when he found out that Master Wu caused the merge, he was so upset that he was able to let himself be involved with. Lord Roz's teachings, which led him to progress further in his Fujitsu training.
Yeah, yeah, and I cannot wait for season three. I can't wait to see what they do with Aaron because man, uh, like I did in a video, I completely understand where Aaron is coming from. You know, Lloyd says, "Yeah, I
Hmm.
promise we're gonna find your parents." Looks like they never even tried, and it was Aaron and Sora who was the one who went, searching in the administration realm for them, as we saw in the first episode. But I can't wait to see what they do with him because I feel like he's going to play such a huge role in season three now that he's with Lord Raw. It's just a big role.
Hmm. Like as you were saying earlier about Lord Roz, being able to change people's view. I guess I wouldn't say mind control because that's not what he's doing, but he's warping their minds to be a part of his side, like he did with Jordana and uh, Beatrix. Now he has Aaron on his side, as we'd seen at the end, and I had made a couple videos talking about what they could do with Aaron in the next season. And I also have seen a bunch of Ninjago fans talk about how they want him to cross paths with the ghost spirit of Moro, and they want Moro to teach him the wrongs and rights of Lord Roz, like see what Lord Roz is doing and have him go back with the ninja.
No, yeah, yeah. I completely agree. And then also, you know, talk about how Lord Ross, uses people, mind controls, all that stuff. It brings up Jay, and I know we have a lot to talk about Jay because it was really exciting to see him. But one thing I feel like could happen in season three is if Lord Roz is smart, he would try to get Jay back because if the ninja are able to get to him first, like we saw in the end of part two, Kai and Nia saying that they're gonna go out and look for him. If Lord Roz is smart, he'll take Jay back in, and then Aaron can't. If Aaron does change his mind later on, he can't leave Lord Roz because now Lord Roz has both Jay and himself, who knows where his parents are.
Hmm. I do agree with you. He definitely should take Jay back. As much as I do want him to take Jay back, and that's what they should do. I personally don't think he should. Like, I feel like we should have Jay go out on his own and meet new friends, discover more people, and regain his memories back, and just go out on his own solo journey. I don't really know why I want him to. I just feel like instead of him being with Roz, we should have a side story of Jay going out, or maybe just a whole mini series on him. Um, but then again, we don't want everything in a mini series. But I just feel like I want Jay to have this big story around him, because like they said they were planning on doing something big with Jay. So I want like like he can go with Lord Roz, but like if he does, they need to make his story like big and interesting.
No, yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I just hope that if they do have Jay go off on his own, that they don't mess it up in any way, you know, and that the
Hmm.
the story can like still fit into the big picture. But yeah, but like let's talk about Jay getting in the tournament. Honestly, what I feel like is I feel like Jay should have stayed and won the tournament. I understand what Lord Ross was trying to do by sending Jay away so that, the ninja can go after him, but also not never showed his elemental power. Like, he's an elemental
Hmm.
master, but we never saw his power at all throughout the season. So what I'm thinking is, why couldn't the writers have Jay win the tournament since he was an elemental master? Because honestly, him losing his first fight against Nia, I didn't really like that. But man, the ending of their fight where Jay was like, "I will always hate you," that was like, wow.
Hmm. I do agree with you. That is something that is one of my biggest pet peeves of this season. When I was watching it for the first time, part two, I was kind of infuriated on how they made Mia win the fight. Like, she should have lost because her mind should have been all over the place because her husband doesn't remember her. Like
Yeah.
she should have been shooken up by that and let her guard down for Jay, who had shattered his goodness to show no mercy
Yeah.
and win the fight.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you. It like, you know, I do. It did make for some good moments, Nia versus Not fight, stuff like that. But it, you know, if the roles were switched and it was Jay the one fighting against Nia, he would have lost because like he wouldn't have been able to fight against Nia like that. But yeah, I do agree with you
Mhm.
there. But what do you think about Not still being able to join, even though we never saw his power at all?
Um, yeah, that's something I didn't really like that they probably will and they better explore in season three. Like they have the Forbidden Five and they probably are doing this to keep it a mystery, but like we have the Forbidden Five. They were ancient elemental masters that were conquering the realms, and we did not get to see them use any of their own power, nor do we know what it is. And it's as annoying as annoying as it was to not know, especially when we're doing a whole tournament with elemental powers. Uh, they are most likely just doing this to keep it a surprise and a mystery for the next season or so.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I have to say, the ending of where we find out that Rox had taken over Jordana's body and how Not and Rox, were killing the dragons, that took me by surprise. Like by the middle of the part two, you could tell that yeah, Not's gonna win the whole tournament, but that ending really took me by surprise. I did not see that
Mhm.
coming.
Neither did I. I thought Lord Ross was going to get away with this plan, but they've whole Forbidden Five ended up releasing, and now season three is going to be kind of confusing because like we have the Forbidden Five release, so either we're going to be dealing with them as main villains, which I think we most likely are because we just had Lord Ross as the main villain of this season. I think he still will be a main part of the season, but not like the main villain. I feel like that is more onto the Forbidden Five, and we'll be dealing with them for probably this season and season four, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait for season three to see what they do with it, and hopefully they answer like lots of the questions that fans have, you know,
Hmm.
and they explore Forbidden Five's power and all that other stuff. But the like one thing about the tournament was Sora winning the whole thing. I I'm not honestly I'm not a big Sora fan at all. I don't really like Sora as a character. I like her winning. I didn't like her beating Cinder the way she beat Cinder made absolutely no sense. But like, what did you think? I didn't like Sora winning the whole thing, but I understand it. But I just really
Mm-hmm.
didn't like it that much.
Neither did I. Like, we have Sora. She literally just started training not that long ago, and she
Exactly.
just discovered her elemental power, and she just learned Spinjitzu too, and we should have had one of the main original ninja. We should have had Zane or Cole, or Mia, or Lloyd. Like, most likely Lloyd. Lloyd should have won that. Like, he's probably the strongest ninja out there.
No, yeah, definitely. And talking about Zayn and Cole and Lloyd and stuff like that, the way Zayn lost was pathetic. It really was. Like, I understand that they cheated and the ice melted faster, but this is Zayn. He's the smartest of all the ninja, and he's literally a robot. Like, he can do
Mhm.
insane things, and I feel like that was a time to showcase what he could do.
Yeah. They really have been handling characters like Cole and Zane terribly in Dragon's Rising, and they need to shed some more light. I get they had their whole solo journey back in part one. They went off and did their thing. That's a step in the right direction, but we need more. Like, Zane was this cool character. He's my favorite character. And, like, he was probably one of the best characters in the original series, and now in Dragon's Rising. Like, that Zane Day, I'm not gonna lie, when they did that Zane Day episode, that got me so mad. Like, especially with the freaking gecko or monk or whatever it was, I forget their
Yeah,
species, didn't know it was literally Zane. Like
yeah.
it was
I did
it was
not
definitely
understand.
frustrating.
I did not understand that whatsoever. I'm like, what is happening here? Oh man, but yeah, but I think season three we might be looking at the Dragon of Concentration. So maybe in season three we'll be seeing more of him. I think that's a leak or something that came out a month ago. I don't know if it was legit or not, but
Mm,
you know, and then Cole too losing against Frack. Like I don't know. I just felt like the older ninja could have done better, and it seemed,
yeah.
in a way, it seemed like they didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
They were just like
no, sorry, go ahead.
But they were just like pushing them aside. Wait, are we talking about the writer's decision or like the ninja themselves?
Well, both, because the
Because
thing is,
like
yeah, like
yeah.
because there was when Cole lost and when Zayn lost, it was just sorry, yeah, blah blah blah. That's it. There was like I
Mhm.
don't understand what was going on.
Like the writers really have been pushing these guys aside, and it's been annoying because these are some of the best characters in the show. These are the original ninja, and they were handling them honestly terribly. Like we had to have Lloyd getting the main focus because like it's Lloyd. Ninjago is practically Lloyd is practically the god of the show, like the face of the show. And they've just been handling these characters terribly. Like there's been nothing interesting with Zayn and Cole. I mean, we did see the Cole Mech thing, which was it was decent.
Yeah, it was decent. And as a Lloyd fan, I can 100% tell you, yeah, Lloyd is now the face of the show. It's not Kai anymore. It's all like from Dragons Rising season 1 to I bet season 3, who like it doesn't matter, he's going to be one of the main focused characters. And I can understand that because now he's the new master and stuff like that. But one thing I didn't like about the tournament was that one time where he's fighting Not, and then all of a sudden it's stopped just because he's injured. This is a tournament. Like they're gonna get hurt. That rule makes
Mhm.
no sense.
Like it is infuriating. They were losing a lot of their matches, because the old guy of the tournament was altering the arenas and he was making them unfair.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He was, he was. And towards the end, like also wait before I go to like the ending of part two, one other thing is, did you get or understand why Robbie said that um Lloyd's elemental power was the element of life all of a sudden?
No, actually, I didn't really understand, but I had seen a bunch of Tanner Fishy videos talking about that, saying how they changed his elemental power to life, and he thinks, and I'm just gonna agree with him here because I don't know what to think, that he thinks that Robbie did not know exactly what the elemental power of Lloyd was, just like Chen, because Chen just called it power. We've seen people call it energy, and Robbie had called it life. So I think they're just doing what they've usually done, acting like everyone does not know what the actual power is and just calling it something random.
Yeah, yeah, that could be it. But like for the longest time I can remember, it's always been energy for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same here.
yeah, that's what I remembered. But yeah, but like one thing which we didn't see is that in the ending, when Rocks turned the mask evil, and then the wolf mask warriors got that big upgrade and stuff like that, huge claws and everything, we saw Cinder turn evil, but we never got to see Jay and what happened
That
to
is
him
true.
when that whole process thing happened.
They're probably leaving it as a surprise for next season, like they're doing with. Honestly, we've said that a lot in this video. They're most likely leaving everything till next season, which there's not really anything to
Yeah,
summarize it. That's really what they're doing. They're
yeah,
saving a lot of this juicy stuff for next season.
yeah, and I'm excited, but I'm also worried too because this could go two ways. Either this could be like the best thing they've ever come up with, or it could fail. And if it fails, that just would not be good.
Hmm.
But yeah, but
Like,
sorry, go ahead.
you go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then also, I'm not, I'm not really getting the whole Nia just because she had the connection to the Dragon Ivory. All of a sudden, with a boost from Ryu, was able to like bring Kai back.
that was stupid. Yeah,
Yeah,
that really was.
because Ryu's power is to upgrade or boost already an existing elemental master, just like we saw with Sora, because for a
Hmm.
while with Sora, that was the only way she could like use her elemental power. But like now, all of a sudden, that means that Ryu has to have every single element inside of him, and that energy is like every single element put together for Nia to be able to do that.
Well, maybe maybe he can actually do that because he is the child of the matriarch dragon, which they were introduced last season, and so we still do not know much about them. We know their horns are used. There's three matriarch dragons, and their horns are used to help do that. So and they needed elemental powers to combine with the dragon horns. So what I'm thinking is uh, Ryu boosted the elemental powers of Mia, and since instead of having multiple elemental powers, her powers were just boosted to maybe match the multiple powers and use that with the horns to bring it back. That's
Yeah.
really what I can come up with. That might not be true, but that's the only thing that I can really come up with.
Well, hey, like this is Ninjago. Anything is possible here, you know. But
Yeah.
but yeah, for season three, we got a lot to look for, like to look at, and also for season three, there's a lot for them to explain to us as well. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, what I really want to see is what Lord Roz means by he knows about the universe. I can't don't remember the exact quote, but he knew the secrets about the universe or something around there. I really want to see what he means by that because it seems like he's been in Ninjago or in the wilderness for a very long time.
Hmm. Um, it is interesting. He probably knows all of this stuff, like from his master, who yet we do not know of. And there actually was this by the Ninjago creator Doc White on his Twitter account not too long ago, talking about how uh they were talking about how Dragons Rising is going to eventually end, and every season that we see here is going to be built up to the final season. It's like the trilogy of the Oni, like the Oni trilogy,
Yeah.
except for every season of Dragons Rising is built up to the final piece. And there is good news, like we will see more Ninjago season content, like a different Ninjago series after it has been confirmed. Thank God.
Yeah.
But I feel like Lord Roz's master is everyone thinks we're going to see him in like season 3 or season 4. I personally feel like this is like the main villain, kind of like the Overlord who we'll eventually see at the last season of the series. Who knows? I've seen people speculate that it is the Overlord, and I hope to God it is not. Like we've had him as the main
Yeah.
villain for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
I've seen people speculate, myself included, that it could possibly be a Source Dragon. Who knows?
No, actually, that's one thing that I'm gonna try to see if I can make a video soon. I truly believe it's the Source Dragon, because when you think about it, the Source Dragon emotion when she came, she said that one of the Source Dragons had been drained of its life when the merge happened, and Lord Roz is trying to reverse the merge when it didn't happen. So my thinking is that that Source Dragon might have been the one to that called out to Lord Roz to help, you get what I'm saying, to help reverse the merge so that
Hmm.
he like basically that Sword Dragon never died.
Yeah. Hmm. Like it is pretty curious what his real true intentions are with Source Dragons because we do know his master, this whole thing what he's been trying to do is get dragon icons, which summon Source Dragons. So whatever his plan is, his master wants it to do something with the Source Dragon. So if it is a Source Dragon that is his master, maybe this Source Dragon is trying to get Lord Raz to do stuff to fellow Source Dragons. Who knows? I don't really know much.
Yeah, and now Lloyd has a dragon icon, which now Lord Ross can
It's
just steal.
Yeah, that's definitely something they're going to do. Like, come on, we cannot predict this. His dragon icon is gonna get stolen.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
it's either going to get stolen or he's going to attempt to steal it. He won't steal it, and then and the dragon icon will be used in some sort of final battle for the season. That definitely seems like a Ninjago thing to do.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, but can't wait. So far, what it seems to be for season three is we have Aaron and Lord Roz going on a journey to try to reverse the merge. The Forbidden Five are now on the loose, so now the Ninja have to go after him, or sorry, after them. And then also Nia and Kai saying that they're gonna go on their journey to find Jay. So it looks like that we might actually see the Ninja get split up in season three to go on different quests.
Hmm. Yeah, that is something they most likely will do because we have been told each season will have a different main set of ninja on on the main ninja team, and others will probably be doing a side quest.
But I think that's all I've got for part two. If there's anything that you saw that you would like to let me know.
that's I guess that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything, and if I do, I'm probably gonna start rambling and making zero sense because I think I kind of got that thing where like I can talk and make a lot of sense and go into a huge detail for a certain time, and then after that, I'm speaking gibberish.
Yeah, no, man. Like me too, there's so many theories you can come up with.
Hmm.
Some of them good, some of them bad. But this is Ninjago, and like I said, anything is possible in the show. Like there are things I didn't think that were possible that
Yeah.
are possible. So yeah.
Well, I guess that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, then let us know down below on whoever video you're watching this on. Hit the sub button for both of our channels, and we'll see you guys in the next one.